A Conservative victory in the general election could put the final nail in the coffin of hopes. The restoration of free higher education in England. This would be a shame, because it is not such a barmy plan. Like many of Jeremy Corbyn's ideas, it is more soft than hard left. Scotland has maintained free higher education, as of course have the great majority of other European countries. It is England that is out of step, even if minus in our arrogant insularity, now reinforced by Brexit fantasies. Some people assume everyone else will have to follow us down the poisoned path to high-fee, market-mad higher education. The English funding regime is also expensive in terms of public resources, and probably unsustainably so. The simple truth is, the fees students pay have to be funded from public sources in the first place, and a good chunk, maybe half, will never be recovered from graduates. Many will never earn enough for repayments to kick in, or else they may emigrate and their loan will have to be written off, at which point this becomes real, public expenditure. So the system isn't working, but what's to be done? There are two options. The first, avidly pursued by the government in its higher education and research bill, is to increase the fees cap a little, while driving down the average fee level a lot, by flooding the market with low-cost and low-fee for-profit providers. In parallel, repayment terms are being made tougher, leading to mounting graduate debt and probably higher levels of non-repayment. A post-Brexit labour market will force even more graduates into low-paid jobs, and encourage more to flee the UK. This might allow the student loan book to be sold to vulture capitalists, because the real risk of default will remain with the taxpayers. The other option is to devise a plan to return to free higher education. The reaction to this of most people is that it would be wonderful, but it is not realistic. But the alternative minus the rush to market, consuming large sums of unaccountable public money, isn't very realistic either, and poses great risks for the academic quality and international standing of English higher education. Allowing degree awarding powers to be bought and sold is not a great idea. A return to free higher education is perfectly possible. It is a fiction. The state no longer provides the bulk of the funding for English higher education. The government provides nearly all the upfront funding, on balance sheet in terms of substantial grants to institutions, and off balance sheet because the student loans company raises all its funding from the state. The cash cost of free tuition would be the price of forgiving the half of existing student loan debt. Might possibly be recovered. Even that would be in the future, not now. It would not cost billions to get rid of tuition fees. Economists can measure the positive impact in terms of extra tax revenue and additional spending power produced by relieving graduates of the shadow of heavy debt. But think also of the potential positive impact in terms of morale among graduates, and on their increased appetite for innovation, which even this government recognizes is badly needed in a Britain where productivity has stagnated, or even gone into reverse. Then there is social justice. More equal access would also produce a boost to productivity by using the talents of all the people, not just half minus the posh half. I have never been convinced by the water runs uphill argument. High fees have produced fairer access. The negligible extent to which it may have been true since 2010 is a reflection of the fact students were heavily subsidized initially, to assuage the guilt of the Lib Dems. Let's see what happens long term if a right-wing Tory government puts loans on a proper commercial footing, is entrenched in office. This is all just one example of the contradiction at the heart of political life. Labour's policies, even under Corbyn, are popular. Whether it's abolishing student fees, spending more on the NHS, or sorting out the pseudo-privatized railways. But voters just don't believe they can be delivered. Certainly not by Corbyn. They abandon hope and embrace false truth.